Yo, what's good, everybody? In today's video, I want to give you the talk about the technology in the smartphone world, where people still think that you need to spend every year $1,000+ on a phone just because it's the shiny brand new thing, especially with new releases like the iPhone, the Samsung S lineup, the Pixel lineup, and every other lineup for expensive smartphones. You don't need to get guilt trip with the new shiny thing, especially technology and tech savvy people, because most people know that the iPhones are the best in the market when it comes to video. But also you could make the argument that they're also first to second best when it comes to camera. Sure, you have competition when it comes to Pixels, Samsungs, or whatever, because those are the main three here in the US. Pixel, well, not Pixel, but iPhone, Samsung, and Pixel, I guess. Whatever else, it's really hard to see people going outside of that little bubble, especially here in the US. But that doesn't mean that every year you need to upgrade. Technology is not moving as fast as it used to be. Like, we don't need like computer level phones in our pockets. Like, just because you get 10 to 15% more performance on this year's iPhone than the next one or the one after that or whatever, doesn't mean that you actually need it, because phones are already fast enough for everyday tasks, which you don't even feel when they slow down, because that's what they're meant for, especially flagships. So let's say you have a phone from, I don't know, you have an iPhone or a Samsung from like 2 generations ago. So let's say this case, it'd be the iPhone 15 lineup and the Samsung S23, I guess, this case. And Pixel what? Pixel 8 series? That's already fast enough for your everyday task. So why would you need to spend another $1,000, even if you get discounted for the phone that you already have? So what would you need to spend already $1,000 for another phone that you may not need? Because whatever it is that they have, the new features or whatever, you're not gonna take advantage of. You're not gonna take advantage of it. So what's the point of you upgrading just for the sake of upgrading? No, that used to be the thing probably like 5 years ago. But technology is already improved enough where we're already at a cap, at a ceiling that probably won't move very fast year to year. Most people in the US, I saw a study saying that they are upgrading every like 3 to 5 years now, because the performance is not really needed right now. So you don't need 819 on your phone and 818 Pro on your phone or whatever. What's the point of you upgrading every year? Just be content with what you have. But this is not what I wanted to talk to you about. This is a little rant, but rant aside, I wanted to talk to you about the type of smartphones that we neglect to acknowledge being very good for the decent amount from 200 to like 300 dollars, which we would consider mid-range, but these are like literally spec for spec flagships in their own price. So that's like, I don't know, companies like Oppo, companies like Redmi, companies like Xiaomi, companies like Ulefone and stuff like that. There are many companies that are outside of the US that make great phones and affordable prices with specs comparable to a flagship, like the iPhones, the Samsungs, the Pixels, and stuff like that. So if you want, I'll give you a couple of examples of brands where you could go into it and you could look up the price ranges that I'm giving you between 200 to like 350. You can see what it is that they have like price and that price gap where it's like comparable to like a really flagship smartphone, like the Poco, the Poco, I think, yeah, the Poco F. No, it started with the F line, but then they switched up to like the X7 or whatever it is, which is like 200 to like 400-ish type dollars. The Redmi, they also have like the comparable to like the now line, in line with the iPhone naming scheme or whatever, but they are really good in that category. I mean, I know that most of these are like Chinese brands or off brands of one main big ass Chinese things. Like I know the Redmi and Oppo are Xiaomi based brands, they're like off brands or sisters brands or whatever it is that they do in China or whatever. But you also have like the Nothing lineup, which is also like really good in that 200 to like 350 range. The Ulefone is like a brand that I've noticed a lot. They make like huge battery size phones with like 10,000 milliamp average battery, whatever. Some are good, some are not so good. So you got to do your due diligence. But what I'm trying to do in this video is educate us as consumers, not to think that every year we need the flashiest thing that comes up, like the S lineup or the Pixel lineup or the iPhones or whatever, where we could, if we need to, we could have like a backup phone. So when our main phone dies or gets broken or whatever it is that happens to it, we can have a backup phone so we don't have to spend like another $1,000 or get into a contract with a company where they are gonna milk us for like 36 months even, which is like pretty average now for like AT&T. I know T-Mobile does like 2 years, which is like 24 months, but even then, that's like a contract that you are. Because even if you don't pay like you get the phone for free, they got you for like 24 months. Because if you leave before the 24 months minimum, you still got to pay up for whatever is left on the phone, like all in one go. So these are like, I'm trying to bring your attention to these type of companies. So like you can keep them in mind for like, I don't know, your youngest child that is coming up of age where they need a phone. I know in the US we are really big on what it is, what iMessage and FaceTime and stuff like that. But I know countries outside of the US, they rely on WhatsApp, Telegram, stuff like that. But if you need a really affordable phone outside of your main phone that you can keep like saved for an emergency or whatever it is, these are some of the brands that I would suggest you look into it. The Nothing phones, the Xiaomi's, the Redmi's, the Oppos, the Eula phones and stuff like that, because that's a big ass market outside of the US that we are failing to comprehend, that these brands have so much power and so much I guess brand loyalty outside of the US that they get this really good cheap phones hands of people. Like I know Xiaomi is doing now like the ad thing into like whatever it is you're doing on the main homepage or even into your notifications and stuff, but those are the compromises that we have to pay for. Now we are the product, not necessarily the money that we spend on things are necessarily making it makes it ours to begin with, because you might spend like, I don't know, like $1,000 on a phone and then it's riddled with ads. So they're making money on you twice, on the phone and then on you actually being the other product. So like I said, this was just a PSA of really good phones. Well, not really good brand of phones that we are unaccustomed or unaware of that we don't want to acknowledge. And also a PSA of trying to educate the tech community on that you don't need the flashiest thing or the newest model every year, because that was a thing that happened maybe 5 years ago where you needed the technology. The technology was evolving so fast every year that you actually needed a new thing. That's not the case anymore. Like I said, people are upgrading now every 3 to 5 years. That's saying something, because like I said, you might not need, unless like you are like the top of the top dogs or whatever it is industry that you're in, that you might need the new Samsung or the new Galaxy, the new Galaxy, the new iPhone, or even the new Pixel. So those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you think about these thoughts on the comments down below. And if you like this video, give me a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one.